And get ready for tomorrow's tournaments, because the tournaments, they don't stop. They don't stop coming, and here we go. We're jumping into the grand finals, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss, currently teamless, looking for a team, deserving to be on a team. From South Korea, it is NightMare. And if you're in the chats, it's time. It's time to get your gambler going. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck for this best of 5 grand finals. As a reminder, going to be best of 5, not best of 3. And this is a prediction for the series, not for the game. So it is a greater prediction. As we are calming things down, going to be double gas here by ByuN. Double gas opener. Going into a faster factory, going for a more delayed CC. And NightMare with the probe scout will be able to confirm. We'll confirm. Girl playing at 4 AM with a gamer. Exactly. That's why I always do champion, or do want to give credit to the European players that play in these tournaments, just because it is not a good time slot for European players at all. But, you know, it might just be normal for Geralt anyway. He could just be full degen, and could be like Clem, you know, just game at like 4, 5, 7 AM in the morning. And wake up at like 3 PM at night, or in the afternoon. Not like this. Not like this. Get some rest, Geralt. Get some rest. As the probe is going to be recalled back home, will escape. Again, NightMare was able to scout everything in the main base, get a read on what was going on, and does keep that probe alive. Back at home, gate expanded to Cybercore. Okay. I was like, where was the music? It's on. There we go. There we go. Our players will calm down. We have our takeoff choice from NightMare. He's going for not a Twilight Council, a Stargate. It's going to be a Stargate opener from our Protoss. Most likely Phoenix, but could open up Oracle instead. NightMare does have options. Likewise, ByuN setting up here in the center of the map. Crimson Court is an interesting map as well. Has some unique features. The biggest one, of course, being the fringe areas of the map. They're, of course, walled off by minerals, by rocks as well. Because of that, you do have to put in a little bit more effort to expand in these locations. Likewise, to also harass in these locations as well. Because of that, we have seen, you know, some later games on Crimson Court. You can wall off. You can split the map in half. The Reapers, they get into the main, they get 2 probe kills. 2 probes go down, we get a 3rd probe as well, and a full scout of the main. ByuN does confirm the Phoenixes. 3 probes in the scouts, well worth it here for ByuN. At the same time, Hellion into the natural, gets another worker. 4 probes go down, 5 probes, oh my god. ByuN getting so much with so little. I mean, hey, that's ByuN getting a 6th probe. 6 in total, 3 in the main, 3 in the natural. Brutal losses for NightMare. Now it's going to be on NightMare to counterattack. He's getting into his own Phoenix count, of course. Attempting to gain his own map control. Back at home, ByuN is building up. He's aware of the Phoenixes. He's building up Vikings, Cyclones, Marines. Anything and everything that shoots up. To make sure his mineral lines are safe and sound. And we'll catch the first Phoenix. Oh, brutal catch. No! Does get away. Barely. 4 HP. 1 shot away from going down. But again, a brutal start for NightMare. And ByuN, he has momentum. He's moving out. He knows how vulnerable NightMare is. There is a shield battery. There's an overcharge. NightMare, he has the tools to defend, but is it going to be enough? Oh, poking in. Shaving off the energy on the shield battery. They threaten the dive as well, but the shield battery is out of energy. We have to force the overcharge. We're hoping to, at least. ByuN waiting for reinforcements. Likewise, more warp ins from NightMare. Getting up to 4 stalkers. ByuN gets a Phoenix. catch a Phoenix. Likewise, Viking taking a lot of hits as well, but that's still 3 Cyclones. There's the overcharge just in time. Whew. Saves the Stalker. Gets the Viking. NightMare holds. Oh my god. NightMare, he barely will hold. Being quite adventurous though, gets punished for it. Bleeding out another Stalker. But NightMare, he moves out. ByuN has to back off. Going for lip harass in the main. As NightMare takes his third. Oh, was misplaced, unfortunately. That PvP may be taking its toll here on NightMare. Again, that was a long series, and our players did not ask for a break. So a little bit unfortunate. Liberator is going to go down, though. Nice catch, getting only 1 probe. So nice defense by NightMare. He's establishing his third base. We're calming things down, settling in. Immortal Production, Twilight Council, soon to be Colossus as well as the Bay is done. NightMare attempting to embrace somewhat Phoenix Colossus. I say somewhat because it's only 2 Phoenixes. So very few Phoenixes to work with. And ByuN just doesn't stop. I mean, he saved all the Cyclones earlier. He's moving out with his 2 tanks. And he wants to deny that third. And the tanks will siege up in time. They're within range. And NightMare, he cannot save this. He's going to try, though. Yeah, massive tank volley is going up. Phoenixes, they threaten a lift. Cyclones do reposition. Phoenixes are zoned away, and this base, it's going to be a tough hold for NightMare. No shield battery, no overcharge. Colossus has arrived, but it might just be too late. Phoenixes are coming in. They get denied. The Phoenixes go down one after the other. Massive tank volleys. The Immortal falls. And now the Colossus is exposed. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. GG, a very aggressive game out of ByuN. Just never really giving NightMare a moment to breathe at all. Moving out with his first couple of Reapers, with his first Hellion. Cyclones as well. Just constantly in NightMare's face. And with that, GG. Game 1 goes the way of ByuN. GG, well played. Meanwhile, a master shout to Comrade in the chat. Gah, papi, gah. Thank you so much for resubscribing for 2 months. Another month as a duck. Quack, papi, quack. Hope you're enjoying the content. Hope you're enjoying the casting. And welcome. Welcome back to the pond. Do appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Again, hope you enjoy your emotes. Hope you enjoy your replay packs. Speaking of, if you wish these replays for yourself, then you can do so via becoming a patron or by subscribing to the channel. We do provide replay packs to our subscribers via Discord. There's a Discord channel in our server with those replays available if you're interested. Otherwise, we're jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of our ByuN, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, leading the series 1-0, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player. The Red Protoss down in the series, but we didn't really get to see much out of him in Game 1. I'm sure we can here in Game 2. It is NightMare. Again, in Game 1, NightMare was just torn apart by ByuN. The non-stop aggression, the non-stop harass. And NightMare just had a hard time keeping up. But now we're loading into a larger map. Rush distance by ground is longer on ByuN. I'm sure NightMare can embrace the mid-game here a little bit more freely. Now once again, double gas. Double gas opener out of ByuN. Once again going for a faster factory. This led into initially Reaper Hellion harass into Cyclones in Game 1. Here in Game 2, we could do the same, or we could go for something different. This can lead into a Widowmine drop opener, can lead into a 1-1-1 into Tank Banshee, can lead to initial Cyclone drop, and ByuN has options. ByuN does have options. ByuN probably went to walk his dog, got breakfast, groceries in this time. ByuN, he got married, had a kid. This kid graduated. He waited a lifetime, Papi, for the finals. And he's speeding through it. No, not like this. So there's that factory, into the CC on the low ground. Likewise, we can see ByuN just scouting the left-hand side, checking the third base, making sure there's no proxy pylon. Making sure everything's as it should be. And ByuN once again is going for the same opener. Once again, second Reaper and Hellion. So double Reaper Hellion here for ByuN. Across the map, NightMare this time is not going for a Stargate opener. I mean, a Stargate opener can leave you quite vulnerable just because you're working with so little in the early game. This time Twilight Council. Twilight Council has been placed for NightMare. This should be for Blink. And is it just going to be 2-gate Blink into a third, or is NightMare going to commit to additional gateways? We shall see. At least early on though, we'll have plenty of stalkers. ByuN does dip in. Does get eyes on the second stalker. And this time he won't quite be able to break through. Bleeds out his Hellion and a Reaper. But alas, ByuN gets a full scout, gets eyes on the Twilight Council, gets a probe. Gets one probe, but will lose every single unit. This time a much cleaner defense from NightMare. Trading out one probe and one Adept for 2 Reapers and a Hellion. Compared to the 6 probes of game 1. Like it was a rough start. It was a rough start in game 1. Here we're looking much better. Gateway explosion on the way. That's going to be 3 gateways at the natural and 1 gateway in the main. That is 4 gates in total. So 4-gate Blink out of NightMare. He's done being the defender. He wants to be the aggressor. And ByuN is in the dark. Now, we spoke about the potential follow-up here off of a double gas opener, and it is going to be Widowmine drop. Widowmine drop from ByuN. And the purpose of this drop is not just to get some damage done, but to scout and to count the gateways. ByuN boosts in, and he does get eyes on all the gateways in the natural. He's fully aware of what's going on. He's fully aware of the 4-gate Blink. So a big moment here for ByuN. Gets a Stalker and 2 probes. It's an okay trade, but again, more importantly, ByuN has seen everything he needs to. He's aware of the gateway count, and back at home, he's walling up. He's walling up here in the main. Tank is on the way as well. Bunker on the low ground. It's going to be on ByuN to fortify himself as best as he can to survive the counterattack. To survive the 4 gates. Now, this is not an all-in from NightMare. It is aggressive, that is true, but he is expanding behind this. And I believe, NightMare did not make a War Prism. No War Prism here for NightMare. So interesting. It's gonna be 4-gate Blink into just some light harass. NightMare's trying to take up. Alas, it's gonna be punished for it. 2 probes going down. Now, a big reason why I think NightMare is doing this is because he got scattered. So NightMare, he's respecting ByuN enough to know that he can't really punish him anymore. So NightMare's trying to take instead. Blinks into the main. Going for the tank. Oh, he's gonna get it. Tank goes down. Gets a tank and attempts to get away. Will escape with every single stalker. Very nice movement here at a NightMare. Does pull away. Managed to pull away. Nice trades here from NightMare. Behind this, rushing into Storm and getting his 3rd. So on the one hand, this is a bit of an inefficient build from NightMare because he's, not actually making use of his additional gateways. But again, it was designed to try to catch ByuN off guard. And to hope that ByuN overreacted to the 4-gate. As ByuN is breaking out. Moving out with his Marauders. Stim is available. Oh, the auto shot harass continues. Another 4 probes fall. Solid damage here by ByuN. ByuN are getting map control, waiting for his upgrades. +1 is on the way. Combat shields. 3rd base on location. least NightMare has eyes on this. I had eyes on this. The observer gets sniped. As ByuN is getting ready for his move out, remember, Storm has completed for NightMare. He's got 4 High Templar, 4 Storms. Is going to be ready for the push. NightMare even being a little bit more proactive. Trying to engage with the main army. Out in the open. So Raven is rotating into the main. NightMare trying to move out. He will take some tank volleys to the face. Oh yeah, brutal position. Zealots, they do melt. Yeah, rough start for NightMare. Bleeding out a lot of Zealots. Storms are coming in. First Storm zone, it zones. An okay second Storm. He's got 2 left. Soon to be 4. That is 6 High Templar in total. ByuN has to back off, getting his star base up and running. Again, because Storm is revealed, ByuN, he knows he cannot push up that ramp. He cannot push into the Protoss, not without EMP. But the Ghosts are coming. The Ghosts are on the way. Once EMP arrives, then ByuN can be more aggressive. Then he can be more decisive. Observer gets sniped. Over the turtle. Beautiful. At the same time, NightMare bypassing the main army. Does come in from behind. And he's defending with the bare minimum. 2 High Templar, 2 Storms. There's 2 Storms back at home. ByuN, he scans. He's going in. First Storm gets spent. 1 Storm left. Oh, massive Storm on the army. Oh my god. ByuN takes it to the face, but it might not matter. Another flanking Storm. Another Storm comes in. NightMare coming in from behind. And it looks like the Storms, they just completely blanket ByuN. Feedbacks as well. ByuN's army is barely standing. Dives into the main, gets 10 probes. Going for the Prism. Doesn't quite get it. The army is heavily overstimmed and stormed. It's battered and bruised, and it is going to be cleaned up. Nice defense by NightMare, and ByuN overextends. Again, ByuN, he got baited in. NightMare was ready for it. I thought it was 2 Storms, but there were 3. ByuN is going to be trapped. And this was an expensive loss as well. This wasn't just a bio army. This was a Ghost. I believe there's still 2 more Ghosts inside, or 1 more even. So 2 Ghosts, 4 Medivacs. ByuN rebuilding back at home. And NightMare can regenerate that energy on those High Templar. ByuN moving out once again. NightMare does spot this. Again, this army movement from NightMare has been unorthodox, but I mean, it's been working out for the most part. It's been okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure NightMare wanted to properly surround the army, but we'll see if he can do so. NightMare finding his splash damage, getting to a second robo. Colossus production has begun, so it's going to be Storm and Colossus. ByuN backing off, getting his own 4th. And the game will settle. Both players are building up, getting into their economies. 5th base on the way for NightMare. ByuN investing into +1 ship weapons. This should be for Vikings and eventually for Liberators as well. ByuN is getting there. But now focusing on Vikings. Double deal with the Colossus. ByuN's army gets spotted. NightMare once again rotating towards the right-hand side. KK pulling back. The Observer does spot the movement. The Medivacs is still alive here in the corner of the map as well. Yeah, ByuN is just posturing. ByuN has no intention to commit to a big fight. He's still waiting for waiting for 2-2. Upgrades are still on the way. Ooh, does miss the observers. Both of them barely out of range. Barely out of vision. Building up more Vikings. 2-2 is almost done. At the same time, NightMare getting ready for his own Zealot run by. Observer finally gets found. Just the one. The other is in position. Oh, nice EMP on the Stalkers. But here come the storms. Massive storms on the army. Zealots, they come in from behind, and we set up the surround. And this is what NightMare wanted. Surrounds the main army, shuts down the Vikings. And we can keep going. And Vikings are being cleaned up, and ByuN, he plummets in supply. Does go for the drop once again. Going for the mineral line. Ooh, NightMare does respond with it, with almost everything. Uh-oh. ByuN was vulnerable, but NightMare, he races back home. Cleans up the drop. 7 probes go down. ByuN, he buys time. Pulling the boys to repair. Building up more reinforcements. NightMare is still maxed out. NightMare still has the advantage. Send it back. But has he taken too long? Stalkers have finally made it. EMP going up. Oh, nice EMP on the High Templar, but there's still a storm left. Still a storm left over. And multiple storms even. Armies being zoned away. Third base under fire. And massive Archon shots going up. And we still have those storms. And momentum is on NightMare's side. And ByuN needs more time. Storm zones away. There's 3 storms left. Soon to be 4. Soon to be 4 storms remaining. Colossus now in the mix as well. NightMare can keep pushing. Once again, he avoids the EMP. Oh, EMP grazes 1 High Templar, but there's still 3 left. Nice mine shots though. They do connect. The NightMare should be able to brute force his way through. As long as he avoids the EMPs. And reinforcements on the way. ByuN has expanded towards the north. But NightMare is going for the kill here and now. Massive EMP does connect. NightMare, he has to respect this. We have the concave in favor of ByuN. He's so close to bringing down those Colossus. Takes down the Archon. And the EMPs have been brutal. And NightMare, instead of backing off, he reinforces with more Zealots. He just wants to end the game here and now. He wants it. He wants it, Bobby. But the EMPs they've been brutal the entire time. They've been on points. They haven't connected with the High Templar, but they have connected with everything else. There's still storms available. Another wave of reinforcements coming in. NightMare is maxed out. Oh, here come the storms! Finally! Yeah, ByuN is trapped. Oh, there's no way out of this. Massive storms connect. And NightMare, he will make a series out of this. GG gets called, and NightMare takes game number 2, tying things up 1-1. GG. Again, a very beautiful setup from NightMare. We saw it attempted earlier on in the game when NightMare was trying to set up the surround, but that's when ByuN committed to the drop into the main. Then we had the big second engagement, the big second fight. When NightMare, he had storms from one end, Zealots from the other. Completely just surrounded and shut down the main army. GG. GG, well played. Whew. We have a series. We have a best of 5. That's all I wanted at least. No 3-0s, not between these 2 players. Nah, not at all. Now we're jumping into game number 3. Let's go. I thought NightMare was going to collapse and it was going to be a fast street. No, no shot, Papi, no shot. Have faith in the NightMare, Papi, have faith. We're at least getting 4 games. I'm hoping for an ace match, I'm hoping, but we'll see. Game 1 was rough though. I understand the sentiment. we don't have to talk about game 1. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. as we're getting into game 3. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, tying up the series, forcing it back and forth. It is NightMare. Great play by NightMare, especially considering he just got out of a couple of 20-hour games. True. He's been trapped in some very long PvPs. He's broken free. See, he just needed game 1 to kind of resettle for his brain to recognize, hold up, I'm free. Like I've escaped the prison that was PvP. So he needed a moment to acclimate, but he's there. We're good. Needed some time. The brain was still trapped with Geralt, but now he's out. He's woken up. He's broken free from the nightmare. Let's go. And now begins another. As for the first time this series, economic opener. For the first time, racks expand from ByuN with a single gas geyser, going for a faster CC. It makes sense. Side Delta is a larger map, long rush distance by ground, known for being more economic, more greedy. On top of that, it has a very defendable natural. One of the unique features of Side Delta is the ramp coming into the natural base, something unique to Side Delta, Amphion, and Post-Youth. So you do have a more defendable natural, and you can be more greedy. So we're calming things down. We're settling in. Now, once again, NightMare is going for a Twilight Council. If you recall last game, NightMare did open up 4-gate Blink, but didn't actually embrace the 4-gate Blink entirely. If you remember, NightMare got scattered, so he only warped in 4 Stalkers, and then took a third base and teched up into Storm. But again, I believe a big part of that was because he got scouted. So we'll see if NightMare embraces something like 4-gate Blink again, or if this is just 2-gate Blink into an expansion. I'm leaning more towards that direction, but we'll see. We shall see. As, ByuN is going for 3cc, 3 racks. This is a very popular build for ByuN in TvP. He's very fond of it. We see this quite a lot. For those that are curious, it is very greedy, and it can be punished by something like 4-gate Blink Stalker, but NightMare is in the dark, and NightMare doesn't know how greedy ByuN is being. So again, just insanely fast third base for the Terran player. Now, the way this works here is, one, the downside for ByuN and why he will be vulnerable to 4-gate Blink is because no tank production. There's no tanks, there's only 3 Raxes, so we're relying on Marines and Marauders, and of course Stim. We have seen players like MaxPax punish ByuN for this and even deny Stim and snowball from there. But it looks like NightMare is expanding. So it's going to be 2-gate Blink for NightMare into a third base. So I do favor ByuN when it comes to the builds. When it comes to the builds facing off, NightMare is being economic, ByuN is being greedy. And this build of ByuN really kicks into gear when he establishes his third base. Like, the third is done, that is true, but once he lands it on location, that's when ByuN should be able to skyrocket ahead in supply. And build up a very hefty Marauder army. Getting up to 5-6 Raxes into Mass Marine Marauder. Behind this, we do see NightMare taking up into a bay. Now, at least he goes for the bay after the third base, so in a way, NightMare is cutting some corners. NightMare could have been safer. Doesn't feel the need to do so. Reaper dips into the main and gets a full scout. Attempts to, at least. Yeah, ByuN does get eyes on the Twilight Council, is aware. Got eyes on the third. So ByuN should be feeling quite safe and sound back at home. As NightMare starting up his own Colossus production. And again, it's going to be on NightMare to delay the third base for as long as he can. Stalkers are fanning out. NightMare does have map control. We'll see if he can keep up. ByuN getting up to his 5-rack setup. NightMare just trying to catch any kind of drop play. Third CC now being landed, and NightMare should be able to spot this with the Stalker. NightMare is aware. Spot the expansion. ByuN is moving out. NightMare repositions. Again, Stim is done, so NightMare has to be very careful with how and when he blinks. And when ByuN stims as well. NightMare wasn't able to really contest the third. Doesn't really have the Stalker count for it. That's a lot of Marauders. NightMare going in, gets a Marine, gets 2. Oh. Does manage to catch 2 Marines so far. Getting a 3rd. And a 4th. Not bad. 4 Marine kills. ByuN does stim. Back at home, Colossus are amassing. Shield battery is ready. Force fields as well. It's still a very tense situation here for NightMare. He has to be so careful with his army control. Has to be careful not to overextend, as he can just very quickly lose that Colossus against all these Marauders. ByuN stimming in. Wants a Colossus! Up! Goes to the dive! But the overcharge gets 12 just in time. NightMare does save it. Saves the Colossus and does defend. But again, that was so close. One more volley of those Marauders and the Colossus would have gone down. And that could have been game. Things could very quickly snowball from there. So it was a very delicate defense for NightMare. Does hold, does save his Colossus. Now up to 3 Colossi. Overcharge off of cooldown. Or on cooldown. DTs are spotted. And NightMare did attempt to go for the Dark Shrine, but doesn't get much value. Is holding on. ByuN, his third is fully operational. 4 CCs on the way. Ghost Academy gets thrown down. And we mentioned before that because of this faster third base, ByuN now has a supply lead. Now has a massive army. And NightMare is stuck at home. NightMare has to be the defender for a little bit longer until he can get up like a decent supportive army of Disruptors or more Immortals, or a greater Gateway army even. Now he's holding his own. DT gets 2 SCVs across the map. ByuN knocks down the Rooks. NightMare is able to keep up. NightMare getting a little bit adventurous here. Chasing the army. But now there are Ghosts, there are EMPs, decent Viking count. It's getting larger. And NightMare has to respect it, he backs off. And now Disruptor production has begun. Second Robo's on the way. Sorry, second and a third Robo. So I do think the Disruptor production was delayed, so getting up to triple Disruptors. 3 Disruptors at a time. Crazy. NightMare isn't there yet, but he's working on it. And the game will progress. The game will progress from here. You can see NightMare is ready for a Zealot run-by. Moving out with his main army. Opening, yeah, the Zealots, they're spotted. ByuN is aware. Does scout the run-by. Likewise, ByuN's main army is spotted as well. NightMare trying to keep up. And there's just a lot of posturing. War Prism into the main. No turrets are set up. Uh-oh. No turrets in position. Looks like ByuN does spot it. He does respond. He's pulling back to his main base. Oh yeah. Does pull back with his Vikings at least. Zealots get dropped in, but the Prism goes down and the Zealots are going to be cleaned up. So again, good response, good reaction here by ByuN. ByuN is now maxed. NightMare is getting there. Show us those Novas. Oh, NightMare not paying attention. One Disruptor goes down. Colossus as well. Massive pickoffs. And NightMare just wasn't able to react in time. He's going to lose everything. Disruptors are going down. Nova goes off. No connection. Nice splits here out of ByuN. And everything escalates so quickly. And NightMare, he's up against the wall. Zealots, they come in to reinforce. But the Colossus count is reset. It's only Zealots and one Disruptor. It's got to be enough, though. Barely is. Whew. NightMare holds, but it was a costly defense. And he lost 4 Disruptors and 3 Colossus in that. All it takes is, you know, not paying attention for one wrong moment, and that can be it. That can be game. That was a better trade for ByuN. Behind this, ByuN refining his army. Liberator production has begun. Freedom is on the way. The freedom, pappy, it's coming. Fusion core as well. That's going to be for Liberator range. So ByuN working towards Ghost Lib. Meanwhile, NightMare is still stuck on a ground-based army. Stargate's now on the way. That should be the first sign of Sky Toss, but NightMare isn't quite ready for it. NightMare does need more time. He's going to be double expanding. Still making 3 Disruptors at a time. So NightMare paying attention. Gets a Ghost. Not bad. Snipes the Ghost. War Prism towards the main. Expansion is spotted. ByuN still sharking around. Setting up the libs. First they land an EMP, going for the Disruptors, he gets 1! That's just 1 Disruptor. Charge, let's say, try to punish. War Prism into the main. Oh, the upgrades are exposed, we're going for a massive Warp in! And this time ByuN was not ready for it. And this time his damage is being done. Snipes are coming in, can he get the eBay? It's close! The eBay is getting low and it looks like ByuN is gonna save it. Anyone knows what's going up? ByuN getting pulled apart as NightMare does barely not get the Liberator. Oof. Not the best trade. The final Liberator does go down. And we're bleeding out more Disruptors. ByuN still maxed. NightMare, he's gonna try to rotate towards north, but the Disruptors, no! They get caught out! ByuN gets all 3. Disruptor count gets completely reset. And NightMare just wasn't aware of the army. Didn't know where it was. ByuN going for a big counterattack at the same time. And NightMare is stuck with purely gateway units. Zealots and Stalkers. ByuN actually responds though. I thought we were gonna be entering a base trade. No, ByuN, he turns around, racing back home. Planetary does survive. No shot. The Planetary lives. I thought it was going to get it. The Planetary lives. 5 SCVs go down. ByuN, he defends. He still has a massive army. And NightMare is being outscaled. At this point, he's just being outscaled here. When it comes to the army composition, going for a Desperation DT counterattack. ByuN going for the expansion, NightMare as well. Attempting to trade a base for a base. Planetary this one will finally go down. Oh, 2 bases even. Not bad. 2 for 1. NightMare gets 2 expansions. Takes down the mineral line. Is going to cost him some of these Stalkers. But the DTs do escape. Not bad. NightMare even catching a Ghost. Now, unfortunately for NightMare, ByuN had 2 orbitals ready, so he can just lift and land and retake this expansion. But NightMare does trade well. Has the greater worker counts. Has the greater economy. DTs are waddling back in, but the turret is about to finish. Can he focus down the turret in time? Oh, barely can. How about this scan? Is that scan available? DTs blink away. Disruptor count is getting back up and running. NightMare is still in this. It's been a little bit scrappy. It's a very hit and run kind of composition for NightMare. And catching out a good force of units. Liberators will zone away. But NightMare, he can rotate. Backing off, trying to lead the army into the disruptors. Nervous go up. The ghost! Not bad. That's 2 ghosts going down. Every ghost does count. Oof. He's connect. Another ghost falls. Down to 7. ByuN pre-splitting his ghost. Do love to see it. And NightMare backing up. Catching out the libs. NightMare's attempting to re-expand. Still has the greater economy, or at least the high worker count. NightMare, he's hoping to catch ByuN off guard. Out of position, late to respond. So far, ByuN is keeping up. NightMare being cheeky. Nova goes off. Oh! Not a bad connection. Take down a Liberator as well. Smooth moves out of NightMare. Take down another Liberator. The Lib count is getting quite low. ByuN no longer has that anchor point. But at least he does get his expansion back up and running. Still very tense. Oh, that is an orbital, not a planetary. Novas are going off. And ByuN does pull away. Big connections, though. Yeah, ByuN caught in an awkward position. He has to pull back. CC goes down. GG gets called. ByuN cannot keep up. And NightMare will take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. As the base went down and ByuN just could not keep up. Not anymore. Leading out too many Liberators, too many Ghosts as well. GG, well played. That was a very tense back and forth, though. I thought the game was going to end earlier. If you remember, there was that big moment where ByuN hit the 3rd base and he reset the Colossus count and the Disruptor count as well. Like, NightMare was up against the wall, but he brought it back. Brought it back. He sniped 2 bases at the same time. Again, going for a bit of a cheaper army. Going for something more mobile, more flexible. And hey, it worked. Did work in the end. GG. GG, well played. And with that, NightMare does have a lead. And he is 1 game away from becoming this week's champion. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Let's go. With 4 workers, yeah, he got the bases and he got the mineral lines as well. Was very impressive. I mean, it felt like a bit of a desperation move, but it worked. He got desperate, and he made it work. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. He is the favorite player in this tournament, but he is down in this series. Can he bring it back to the ace match? It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, but deserving to be on a team. It is NightMare. We go. ByuN is a real believer in 3CC lately. Yeah, he's been all about it over the past couple of months. We've seen, we've seen ByuN defeat MaxPax. Was it last week in the Wardy TV Cup? Where ByuN did defeat MaxPax on Golden Aura with 3CC 3-Max. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it again in this series, but for now, we're calming things down. NightMare is scouting for proxies. I don't blame him. Like, ByuN is known for a couple of things. He's known for 3CC 3-Max. He's also known for going for proxies, and NightMare is a little bit paranoid, but alas, won't find anything. Just being safe. Checks the linear third. Checks over on the right-hand side as well. And we'll expand. And we can see that ByuN is going for a Rax expand back at home. Going for an economic opener once again, similar to the previous game. I say similar because ByuN is going for the Marine first, not the Reaper. So no SCV scout out of ByuN, and no Reaper scout either. Just going for the initial Marine into add-ons. So in a way you could argue this is a little bit risky or greedy by ByuN. In a sense, yes, but he's also quite fond. I say he's also quite fond of this. A lot of the Korean Terran players do embrace this as well. I'm referring to specifically ByuN and Maru. I mean, shouldn't really be a surprise. But they do often cut corners like this. It is going to be a Twilight Council here from NightMare. We have our tech of choice. Going for a Twilight Council, not a Stargate. Going for a Blink once again. As a reminder, last game it was 2-gate Blink into a third. The game before that was 4-gate Blink. What do we go for this time? What's it going to be? How many gateways? NightMare does threaten the shade, getting for his second gateway back at home, keeping ByuN honest. And we can see this time ByuN is not going to follow this up with a Widowmine drop. He's opening up with what looks to be more of a Cyclone drop. Second Cyclone's on the way. I mean, it makes sense getting the Cyclone production just because ByuN actually doesn't know what's going on. So a Cyclone is, you know, a secure way to defend against something like an Oracle or Stargate opener into Phoenix, Oracle. So ByuN just trying to cover his bases. Trying to be ready for anything. And here comes the move out. We have Marines, we have Cyclones as well to support. Liberator behind this, very aggressive by ByuN. Following up with that Lib. Back at home, NightMare does have a shield battery on the way, it's almost done. Trying to buy time. Stalker's poking in. Oh. We'll delay the move out. Delay the push. Catching a Marine. Cyclone taking a lot of damage. Nice juggling here out of ByuN. Does save the Cyclone. Saves it for a moment. Leading out more Marines. Whew. And again, very delicate micro from NightMare. He does hold, he does defend, he does deflect ByuN. And NightMare holds. NightMare does hold, but ByuN isn't done. Going for a drop into the main. Does rotate around. Behind this, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. And will we see a tech lab on that starport? Will we see tank and Banshee production? Curious. Now getting to that third Rax. Drop is poised to dive in. Liberator towards the left-hand side. Ooh, and NightMare doesn't really have much to defend back at home. He has 3 Stalkers in the main, but everything else is across the map. NightMare, he did go 4-gate Blink. He's warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. Can he punish ByuN? Oh, there is a tank in position, though. There's a tank in the main. Marines as well. NightMare does rotate around. The tank is not quite within range. NightMare can delay some of the production. Yeah, the boys are being pulled, and that does trigger ByuN to go in. The Cyclones and the Liberator. SCVs are going down. Prism will get out. Cyclones into the main. Stalkers do defend. What about the Liberator? Late reaction here by NightMare. Oh, losing 5-6 probes. 6 workers go down, even more, getting up to 8 probe kills. And the Liberator does more than pay for itself. And brutal damage. So 7 probes and a Stalker. NightMare did well across the map, but ByuN does even it up. NightMare getting 2 more SCVs. Poking in towards the natural. But ByuN is looking secure. He's got 3 tanks spread between his bases. No bunkers, which is a little bit greedy, but at this point I'm not so sure if ByuN even needs them. Stim is almost done. NightMare, he thought about it and said he's going to back up, taking a 3rd, and taking up into Colossus. Gateway explosions on the way, Colossus production as well. NightMare is taking up, he's backing up. And the game will progress. ByuN sneaking out with a double drop towards the right hand side. I wonder if that Marauder was a bit of a tell. NightMare getting very adventurous, does get a tank. Worthwhile trade. Gets a Marauder, gets a tank, forced to recall back home. ByuN setting up for a surround on those Stalkers. But last not there. Yeah, ByuN moving out, hoping to catch the units. Nowhere to be found. NightMare dipping back in. We'll delay the CC. We'll attempt to. ByuN has reinforcements. And ByuN will defend. This will delay the push. And at least NightMare is aware of the expansion. And back at home, he's ready with his Colossus. We have 2 Colossus so far. Sentries, force fields. NightMare is set up. Oh no! Oh my god. So the Mine Shot almost takes down the Prism. Calm down, NightMare. Calm down. Has to retreat. ByuN establishes his 3rd. NightMare getting to his 4th. The game will settle from here. NightMare just refining his splash damage, getting into Disruptor production. Disruptors are on the way. Likewise, ByuN now incorporating Vikings. Viking production has begun. To have more secure anti-air. Eventually leading into a Ghost Academy. Not there yet, but should be on the horizon. I'm catching a handful of units, forcing NightMare to respond, forcing him back home. And there's that Ghost Academy on the way that we did mention. Until then, both players just going to be vying for map control. ByuN poking in, clearing up these zealots. NightMare does spot the main army. He's getting in position. Disruptors are set up. ByuN backs up. Gets eyes on the expansion. Again, ByuN just setting himself up for a later game state. Clearing up rocks. And the ghosts are soon to arrive. Making those 3 ghosts at a time. Even setting up for a flank as well. Flank gets caught though, just Marines. And NightMare catching a medevac. We do have a warping into the main. And massive force fields. Marines and Marauders get caught out. The ghosts are not quite ready. They're still on the way. And we're held up by those zealots. Prism goes down. Can ByuN hold on? He's up against how many? 6 disruptors. That's a lot of Novas. Tanks are barely sieging up. Nice splits here against the Novas. 1 disruptor goes down. 2 disruptors go down. ByuN doesn't want to chase. Still pulling back to the safety of those tanks. That was a better trade for ByuN, and now he establishes his own 4th. 4th base is being taken. I'm waiting for NightMare to throw down another Stargate. And ByuN, he's been quite defensive, and now he's secure on 4 bases, which might trigger a Sky, or at least our Protoss player to think about Sky Toss for now. Just on a rover-based composition. NightMare still being active. Will actually find those tanks. Not bad. Both tanks go down. NightMare coming in from behind. Without those tanks, NightMare does have more pushing power. That anchor point for ByuN isn't quite there, and there's no Liberators yet. Oh. NightMare, calm down. The Liberators have yet to begin here for ByuN. Still relying on a very bio-heavy composition. Still a lot of posturing. ByuN working on +3. I mean, both players are. +3 is on the way. Main army is spotted. Still, what, 6 disruptors. Nice EMP. But ByuN's getting caught out. Half his army is here across the map. ByuN is not ready for this. Only fighting with half his force. Ghosts are going down. Trading against Zealots of all things. Good trades for NightMare. NightMare has to pull away. Again, NightMare mainly trading gas. Oh, sorry, minerals for gas. But he doesn't break the expansion. And NightMare has to remax. Like, NightMare has a bank, but he has to spend his money. Okay, there we go. 12 Zealots at a time. Nice EMP. But NightMare once again relying on a very heavy gateway composition. Massive EMP on the Zealots. Once again, they're trading with Ghosts, though. Yeah, Ghosts are going down. NightMare trying to collapse on this army. At the same time, ByuN also coming in for his own surround. The Novas go off! No! Oh my god! Massive connections. NightMare was ready for that. Still bleeds out a lot of Zealots and Stalkers. NightMare has to rebuild. Disruptors are exposed. ByuN gets 1. Up! He wants 2. Barely doesn't get it. But again, NightMare, he needs to reinforce. Expansion goes down. They're bleeding out all the workers as well. Probes are falling. NightMare going to counterattack. Novas once again. Up. Zoning ByuN away. No major connections. These disruptors are so exposed, and we do get a better connection towards the end. You want NightMare reinforcing with mainly Blink Stalker. Nice trades. Catches a Ghost, a couple of Marauders. NightMare rotating around. Again, just a very heavy gateway composition. He's taking so many risks with these disruptors, but so far it's been paying off. Liberators have arrived. NightMare re-expanding. Oh, the disruptors! Gets 1, gets 2. Does catch 2 disruptors. Massive pickups. And NightMare coming in for the dive. Collapses on the main army. NightMare is gaining ground. But cannot push up that ramp. Catch some SCVs. More Stalkers on the way. Again, NightMare has done a very low gas count. Playing very similarly to the previous game, but Liberators have arrived. Oh! ByuN catching out some of those Stalkers. And Stalkers, they need a buffer, they need some support. That was a more expensive loss for NightMare. The libs! Uh-oh. Liberators getting caught out. One lib falls. Calm down, ByuN. Calm down. Both armies rotate. NightMare has the high ground. Nova goes off. ByuN gets zoned away. Once again, NightMare does outposition. He's going for the expansion. Again, just zoning away the main army. Going for the planetary. One disruptor goes down. The planetary should fall. Do we have any Novas left? Down to 5 disruptors. ByuN collapsing in. Takes down a good amount of zealots. Nice splits. 4 disruptors left. Low disruptor count is concerning. Behind this, NightMare reinforcing back into Colossus. Makes sense. There are no Vikings. No Vikings, no Liberators. Now would be a good time to go back into Colossus production. ByuN does re-expand. And again, because of NightMare's movement, he's just forcing ByuN to walk into these Novas, to push in even. But ByuN does get another expansion. Does get another base. NightMare, he spots it, he rotates, he wants it. Wants that orbital. Once again, ByuN's main army's out of position. Yeah, the Gateway army can just overwhelm. As the reinforcements come in, once again, we just thrown away with the disruptors. Yeah, ByuN, he was not ready for this. SCVs are going down. Liberators as well, so does the base. Yeah, ByuN is always one step behind when it comes to the movement of NightMare. He's just going right down mid. He's had enough. It's like, fight me. Let's find the fresh mining base. Going for the Nexus. Nexus getting low. NightMare forced to respond. And the Nexus will fall. But here come the Colossus. And ByuN down to 1 base mining, barely an economy. I mean, I say that, so is NightMare. He's on 1.5 bases. NightMare did just lose a base. Disruptor's rolling in. Up! Oh my god. And NightMare overextending. 1 disruptor goes down. Down to 3. More disruptors on the way. Colossus getting caught out as well. NightMare overextending. Leading out a lot of disruptors and Colossus. And this time NightMare gets punished. And he needs those disruptors. In a head-on fight, we have to favor ByuN here. Is stemming in once again. The disruptors are on the way. More Stalkers going down. Colossus under fire. Disruptors, they finally do make it. And they can finally zone back the ground army. ByuN traded well. He got all the Colossi. Took down a lot of Stalkers. The problem being that NightMare had a bank. And NightMare does replace that army. NightMare does reinforce. Left hand expansion getting back up and running. Oh! Missiles again. Trying to catch out ByuN. NightMare not in the best position here, but does hit the planetary. ByuN, he counterattacks. In his own head a little bit there. Yeah, assumed that NightMare was in position. Planetary goes down. And he's going for a base trade. Going for the counterattack instead. Trading a base for a base. Zealous, they hit the last mining base of ByuN. No, he can't afford this. SCVs are going down. ByuN getting pulled apart. Nova's going off. Massive connections. ByuN down to 6 SCVs. This is his economy. 6 workers left for ByuN. He did snipe that northern expansion, true. But NightMare still has mining, still has an economy. Disruptors go, oh my god. A little bit trigger happy. 3 Novas go off, there's 2 left, there's 1 left. Only 1 Nova remaining. ByuN, he can stim in. And NightMare is vulnerable. Another expansion goes down. Recall won't save the disruptors. 1 disruptor survives, and there's no way out of this. And ByuN might not have an economy, but he's trading so well. It takes down most of the Stalkers. They just melt before the Marauders. It's such a Marauder-heavy composition. And ByuN is still in this. He cleans up so many Stalkers. NightMare did overextend. You could see that if NightMare's running low on Purification Novas, he just cannot hold his own. ByuN is moving up. ByuN has a massive supply lead, has a more efficient army as well. And how many disruptors are left? Only 3. Massive EMP. Only 3 disruptors. Another expansion is going to go down. And ByuN might have this. It comes down to the Novas. Oh, not bad. Gets 2 Marauders. NightMare pulling away. ByuN does have an army in position. It is heavily overstimmed. Gets another disruptor. Bit of miscontrol there from NightMare, down to 2 disruptors. He wants the planet. He wants the CC. He gets it. Gets the orbital. Was that the last one? No shot. ByuN, he has no bases. Down to zero orbitals. No economy, no command center, but he has an army. ByuN can still win this. Is being revealed. ByuN catching our probes. Now, what is a little bit concerning as ByuN is pulling NightMare apart. Likewise, though, ByuN only fighting with half his force. It's going to be enough, though. Expansion's going to go down. Both bases, 19 probes as well. ByuN is down to 2 SCVs. But he has 23 Marauders. Oh, the DT! Oh wait, there's the EMP. Okay, there's the EMP. I was about to freak out. I was like, there's no skins. True, but there are EMPs. Expansion's gonna go down. Catching the mineral line as well. DTs are waddling in. I mean, the best chance for NightMare might just be the elimination. Unironically. Killing all the buildings might be the best way here for NightMare. I mean, also disruptors, right? ByuN is consolidating his army, bringing everything together. DTs are wreaking havoc. ByuN does have EMPs to spare. Still very close. That is what, 6 disruptors. Let's go up. Oh, they're gonna connect. Oh no, they're gonna connect. They shut down the main army. GG gets called. The Novas are just too much, and NightMare will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played, ByuN. He just committed. He just sent it into the main army. I do think there was potential for ByuN. Like, he had a pretty terrifying force, and I do think that if he once again tried to go for like these split pushes and tried to poke away at the army of NightMare, that he could have maybe taken it. In a head-on fight, we spoke about it before, but pushing into disruptors is very difficult, and it looks like ByuN kind of ran out of patience towards the end. It's like he'd run out of patience. He's like, screw it, let's go. It happens here and now, one way or the other. GG, well played. Congratulations to NightMare, as he does cause a bit of an upset. GG, well played. ByuN came in as the favorites, but NightMare. Just, again, built a little bit different here. He had a very, very intense semifinals as well. He had an intense semis against Geralt. We had, what, like over an hour-long series? Oh my god. It was a very, very intense back-and-forth semifinals, which led into this series, and game one was looking a little bit bleak. Remember, game one was heavily in favor of ByuN. If you remember, that was the one and only game that NightMare opened up Stargate. Went for a Stargate opener on Crimson Court, and ByuN punished NightMare so hard. ByuN was hyper aggressive. After that, NightMare was done with Stargate play, relied on Twilight Council and Blink Stalkers instead, did mix it up with his openers, and more often than not though, what I should say is that NightMare, he thrived in the mid to late game. He thrived with this kind of army composition. It happened on side Delta, happened here as well, going for this heavy gateway composition with disruptors to support, and the goal there that we saw multiple times was NightMare was out-positioning ByuN. NightMare was rotating, ByuN was having a hard time keeping up, and whenever NightMare would rock up at a base, he would have his disruptors to zone ByuN away. Because ByuN wasn't there ahead of time, ByuN just could not hold on to his expansions. ByuN was losing 4th base after 4th base after 4th base, 5th base as well, 3rd base as well. NightMare, his army movement and map awareness was greater than that of ByuN here in this series, and did rely on that, and did allow for him to take it in the end. It was still close here on Oceanborn. There was one big misstep from NightMare, if you remember. It was one of the last big fights of the game, before the base raid kind of scenario, when NightMare went back into Colossus. He had 2 Colossus with his main army, and he pushed towards the right hand side, and he had his disruptors a little bit lagging behind. And if you remember, that was the moment where disruptors got caught out, the Colossus got caught out. Like, that was a big kind of blunder for NightMare, and I thought it was over then and there. Like, I thought like he had made too many mistakes, and he did lose a lot, but alas, he was still able to hold his own, was able to reinforce, able to, in a way, kind of stabilize again. It was still very scrappy kind of game state, but GG well played. Beautiful TvP. Congratulations to NightMare. Congratulations. Oh my god. And shout out to Cyan in the chat. Fala galera, papi, fala galera. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos, obrigado. Thank you so much for the raid. I do apologize because we just wrapped up. we just wrapped up the stream. Just wrapped up. See Hyper1 redeeming a replay cast. I appreciated Hyper1, and we do have a couple of replays lined up. I think we have like 3 replays banked up. 3 or 4 replays, and I'm gonna hold off on that one, Pat. I'm gonna hold off on that one. The reason for that, we do usually try to, I would usually, sure, just go into a replay cast from here, but today is a little bit different because in a couple of hours we have the Wardy TV Monday Cup. The Wardy Cup is in how many hours time? It's in 7 hours, just under 8 hours time, and I would like to get some food and get some sleep. I'm gonna get some food. I'm gonna rest up. For those that are curious, we do also cast the Wardy Cup. Wardy casts it alongside us. It's open to community casters. I think Gemini jumps on as well if Trap is playing. If Trap is playing, then Gemini will be covering his matches as well, typically. So yes, in 8 hours time, if you're unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, then most likely we're going to be seeing ByuN, NightMare, and many other Koreans and Europeans return tonight. They're most likely going to be returning here to compete. For those that weren't here for it, last week Shin was the Wardy TV champion. He was the champion. He defeated MaxPax. He actually defeated MaxPax in a best of 5. It was a very impressive performance by Shin. We'll see if he can reprise his role. We'll see if maybe some others can rise up instead. Again, we'll see if MaxPax makes his return. If I remember, Clem also competed. Shin popped off last week. Shin defeated Clem and MaxPax. It was crazy. Like, Shin, he had his way with both of them, which was wild. So we'll see if he can do that again. Likewise, we'll see if ByuN or NightMare or Trap or Rogue or any of these other players can rise up instead. So that's going to be our next cast in just under 8 hours time. Otherwise, if that is a bad time for you, I know that it's at a rough time for the Americas. I think it's like early morning for the Americas. Then we're going to be live tomorrow. tomorrow in under 24 hours. We're going to be live here on the channel once again with the Orsasaurus Cup. If you're curious, what is the Orsasaurus Cup? It's very similar to this tournament, very similar to the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. It is an open cup. It is at a more friendly time slot for the Americas, as well as Korea, and very late for Europe as well. But it is at a more NA-friendly time zone and time slots, and it is open to all players, open to all regions. So we're going to be live tomorrow with the Orsasaurus Cup, and later tonight with the Warty TV Cup. So plenty more content to come here on the channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate the support. If you want to support this tournament, you can do so via Matcherino. Un momento. Oh, also, I have to do payouts. Hold on. My apologies. Oh my god, how many people predicted NightMare? I'm curious. See for the Orsasaurus. Yeah. I got you, Bobby. I got you. 30%. Okay, not too bad. 30% in favor of NightMare. Winners interview in Korean, please. 안녕 하세요. 안녕. Don't want to know how Homono made a PF at 2. Oh no, not like this. But Hybrid One, do send me the replay on Discord. Send me the replay, and maybe after the Orsasaurus Cup tomorrow, we can cast the replays. After Orsasaurus, send me the replays. What a final game! It was crazy. It was crazy. Personally, I was hoping for the ace match. I was hoping. No. But what was I going to get into? Oh yeah, with that, GG, well played. Again, if you want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. I got you covered. You can be notified when we go live. We also have a Discord server as well if you want to interact with us outside of just the cast. And yeah, you can follow us and watch us on YouTube as well. We're live both on YouTube and on Twitch. We are live on both platforms, and you can follow us and watch VODs on YouTube if you wish, if you prefer. Otherwise, we're done. We're done for the morning, at least. We're done for the morning. I'm going to go get some food. Again, usually I do have like a ladder session after the cast, just to like unwind. But because we have a double cast today, I'm going to be skipping out on the ladder session as well. But I should be laddering tomorrow. I do apologize. Like, I haven't streamed and laddered in a while, but should be live tomorrow. Should be able to do so tomorrow. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. We'll need a moment to find someone. I did see Practice X was streaming. Nero is streaming. Who else? Jaime, Jim Rising. Let's go. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later tonight or tomorrow, depending on what you prefer. And again, if you miss out on one of the events, on one of the casts, check out the VODs, baby. Check out the VODs. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego, ciao. Alright, also, if you want to help support us, you can subscribe on Twitch. You can check out our Patreon as well. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments, so you can help grow our tournaments via Patreon if you wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.